Assalamu alaikum. This is Farid Pathan, and I am from PCB News and Views from New Jersey. Our today's guest is Farhad Hussain from Dhaka, a professor of Dhaka University. Iftikhar Ahmed, meet you from Dhaka. He is our permanent representative of um, Bangladesh, I would say, from PCB Views, and also specialist of international relationship in of Bangladesh and international news. What we cover. Today's topic is who will choose the Dalai Lama successor. Whether it's India is claiming they will choose Dalai Lama, and China, they are also claiming that Dalai Lama is constitutional and a position of China's right. So, what do you think, Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed, who will choose Dalai Lama in this position? Because Dalai Lama is about over 90 years old. So they're looking for who's gonna be the next Dalai Lama. As far as we know, this is 14th Dalai Lama that is we are going to see it. So who will
No,
be
15th we'll be
15th?
seeing.
Yeah,
This is the
15th.
14th one. Yeah.
The 14th is current, and the 15th Dalai Lama we are about to see. What do you think? Who is going to be the next Dalai Lama of Tibet?
Thank you, Pathan Bhai, for inviting me over here. Dear viewers, good evening from Bangladesh. Yeah, I put a headline over here, just Dalai Lama dilemma. Very interesting issue this is. So the Dalai Lama, we have to know how this process actually took place before in course of history. The
Right.
current Dalai Lama is the 14th. I forgot his original name. Since we call him, since our childhood, Dalai Lama, I will call him Dalai Lama 14th. So for 15th, we are looking. But 14th, how he was chosen, when he was about 2 years old or something like that, when he was an infant, that time, previous Dalai Lama, when he passes away, uh, the items he used to use, the cup or tray or whatever, a pen, even a shawl or a muffler, whatever, his utensils were taken to this 14th Dalai Lama with all other items also by 5, 6 other people will be there. So this current 14th Dalai Lama looked at those items which previous Dalai Lama used. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. There cannot be any mistake at all when it will be, if you choose items and 7 items used by the previous Dalai Lama, they will say this is the incarnation of the old Dalai Lama. In this case, it's completely different. It's between the war between India and China. Again, it became the war between China and Pakistan, like that, China and India right now. So in recent press briefing, I write down a lot of things here, Patan Bhai, forgive me, because I cannot memorize everything over here. So I will just go through briefly on this, then I'll describe it. In a recent press briefing, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning, the lady over there, said New Delhi should appreciate Beijing's sensitive issue, such as Tibet-related issues and selection process of 15th Dalai Lama. Chinese position in such issue is consistent. She became very clear on her stance. So China insists 15th Dalai Lama must be selected by putting eligible candidates' names. You know how they take a gold ball.
Right, right.
So the most interesting part in here is that, like, the Pope, how he is selected. When the Pope dies and the new Pope is selected, we see the smoke coming out of the chimney, or white smoke, black smoke, the way they put it over there, and the certain
Mhm.
messages come to that. Okay, like the Imam of Kaaba, when it dies, passes away, we also go through the same process. Who will be the next? So
Right.
this, between the Christianity and Islam, it is almost same. But
Same.
here choosing the Dalai Lama is that, like that, they are trying, Chinese authorities are trying to say, especially Xi Jinping, that you should choose a Dalai Lama who will represent us, who will not represent India. And is that clear to you, sir? So they say it has to be a democratic process. You have to put the name in a bowl, like 15 or 16 eligible people's name, monk's name. And one innocent boy, somebody will pick it up and they will take the name and say, this is the new Dalai Lama. But this name has to be approved from the government of China. The
Mhm. Right.
ultimate decision means ultimate depends decision is in the hand of Xi Jinping.
Mhm.
So there is a row between Indian media and also the Chinese, what they're saying, the government. The Indian media is saying no. This decision will come. Dalai Lama will be selected by the Dalai Lama himself said this. That I don't care what China says. I will make a decision. People of this board will make a decision. A lot of people does not know what is there. It's called Gim Podrat Trustee Board. Have you ever
All
heard about this? I never heard about this. It's a very
right. Mhm.
interesting thing. Gim Podrat Trustee Board will decide who will be the next Dalai Lama. Period. That's it. And as you all know, also China says if India tries to interfere in this process of the reincarnation of Dalai Lama, the consequences will be fatal, according to Republic TV. This is the view given from the Republic TV, again from the Indian side. So Republic TV, this Arnab Goswami is saying a lot of obnoxious things which doesn't make sense to me.
So,
But
so you were saying that India doesn't have any rights to choose who's going to be the next Dalai Lama at all.
mm, I'm not in a position to say that because I'm not going to be in the board of choosing who is going to be the Dalai Lama.
Because
This
the
is a
trust
complete
because the trustee
it's
exists in the
trustee
China.
board. Yes, it's a Gim Podrad, and this Gim Podrad board is this consists of the lamas. You know, I will later explain the Buddhism briefly in 5 6 minutes time. What Buddhism works in here, what Buddhism concept works in Far East, and as well as in Tibet. For now, I will stop here
I'll
right now.
yeah, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Farad Hussain, Professor Farad Hussain, would you please say, we know that current Dalai Lama, he's in exile in India. And do you think that India has any rights or current Dalai Lama could choose who would be the next successor of him? And in India, they are claiming they would choose, or current Dalai Lama would choose, who's going to be the next Dalai Lama of Tibet.
Thank you, Patan Bhai. And after a couple of days, we have you have initiated an English talk show, which is very important, and I am very much happy for having me here today.
Thank
Very
you.
important thing is that the issue of the reincarnation of Dalai Lama has become a political issue,
Right.
and it has become a conflicting issue between China and India once again. Exactly, if you look at the deepest core of the matter, you will find there is always a smell of politics, particularly. The political smell you will get in the issue of reincarnation of Dalai Lama and the exile of Dalai Lama. And he's exactly having resort or asylum in India.
Mhm.
All are political issues. But India is trying right now to place this matter as a spiritual issue. It is an Indian tricky policy against China. And do you know that in 1950, Tibet had gone to the Chinese control, for the strategic reason, China occupied Tibet in 1950.
Mhm.
Why? Because the McMahon line erected by the British colonial power between China and, India had been declined by China. China did not agree or admit the McMahon line. And that is why China categorically and deliberately claimed that Tibet was the part and parcel of China. And as a result, China exactly posed a military pressure. in 1950 and occupied Tibet. And now Tibet has been the part and parcel of Chinese territory. It is very clear. And now, you know, the President Dalai Lama tried time and again exactly to make a negotiate with the Chinese government. But the Chinese government declined the issue exactly on Tibet because strategically Tibet is very important for China because China had to face India, okay, in many ways, you know.
Right.
And after taking the control of China on Tibet, you know, the issue of Dalai Lama in 1959 left Tibet and he wrote a letter to the then Prime Minister of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, to have the political asylum in India. And you know that Nehru agreed, and not only that, Nehru sent a special envoy to receive Dalai Lama from the frontier line. And since this political asylum given by India to Dalai Lama has created a serious repercussion and irritation in the relation between China and India. The result is that Dalai Lama is preaching against India, making Dalai Lama's teams, you know, are making propaganda against China,
China.
against China categorically and deliberately, which is creating a certain kind of situation leading to the decline of the normal relation between the two countries, China and India. The result is that it was when Dalai Lama left his country, Tibet, he was only 24 in a very young stage. And in exile in India, he passed more than his life he spent in Tibet.
Mhm.
Clear? And not only that, alarming situation is that a government has been formed by the Tibetan political people in the soil of India. And Penpa Tsering, a Tibetan political young leader who became the president of the central Tibetan government. And his government headquarters is located in Tamil Nadu, which is constantly an irritating issue for China.
Mhm.
Everything exactly created a particular irritation and uncomfortable situation for China, you know, and because of the political asylum offered by India to, you know, Dalai Lama in 1959, Chou Enlai and, you know, the Communist Party chairman, Mao Zedong, was very much annoyed. And consequently, what we have seen, and there are some particular land dispute between India and China. In order to solve it by military pressure, China declared war against India in 1962. And it was a huge battle. And India was not in a position to face China only. The war of 7 days. Sorry. It was a very catastrophic experience for India because so many Indian officials died by the reckless attack and firing from Chinese side. And India lost Aksai Chin during the time, you know. And
Further,
not only that,
another question. My question is: last so many years we have seen that Dalai Lama being exiled in India, but from India he couldn't do anything for Tibetan people. And what we have seen that the southern part of India, which is in Tamil Nadu, their main office.
an exile
But
government, you know,
yeah,
exile
yeah,
government. It is a
exile government,
thorough
right?
challenge. It is a thorough challenge.
But they
Exactly. It is
didn't
a thorough
support.
challenge taking China.
No, right.
And
They didn't
Chinese
support their own.
exile government is using the land of India.
No, right.
Now, Aruna, I think that China is very generous and kind nation in in many extents, I'd like to say. And China occupied Arunachal in the war of 1962. And India's troop was not capable enough exactly to vacate Arunachal. to remove Chinese troops from the land of Arunachal,
Mhm.
finding no other alternative. Jawaharlal Nehru took the resort of diplomacy. And during the time, you know that American ambassador in India was Galbraith, Professor Galbraith, who was once the professor of the renowned university, in America, Harvard University. He was a professor of for political economics, and he was also an agriculture a professor of agroeconomic professor. A very tall man. He was his height was 10, 12 12 feet high, very
Mm.
tallest person, and very close to Jawaharlal Nehru because he was a thorough and intellectual figure. And Nehru requested Galbraith to negotiate this matter with John F. Kennedy during the time Kennedy was the president of the United States of America, so that you know uh, 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 Kennedy could request General Ayub, who was the president during the time of Pakistan, exactly to give a corridor to move Indian troops towards Arunachal. You
But
know,
what do you
but
think?
the thing is that Ayub Khan, in spite of being a military officer, was he used to know what is actual diplomacy. And there was a tie between America and Pakistan during the time. And when Kennedy made the proposal to General Ayub during the time, exactly to offer a corridor for India to move their troops towards Arunachal, Ayub Khan declined this request, saying that Pakistan is ally of the United States of America. If United States of America wants to help India, America can send troops and Pakistan will join the troops of America.
My question is,
That was the
uh,
diplomacy.
my
And
another question.
the strategy of the strategy of Nehru had been spoiled by
Mhm.
the reply of General Ayub. And
Yeah,
in this
okay.
aspect, I would like
Yeah,
to say Ayub
yes,
had shown the sagacity and wisdom.
but we
Yes,
know
yes,
about
sir.
this history. Now, my question is this: the Brahmaputra is came from Tibet, the southern part of Tibet, and now India is looking for that Brahmaputra's water. And also China is trying to make a dam and trying to make a hydroelectric power plant in there. So this position, the Dalai Lama of Tibet, it is a very important for Chinese government to install a the biggest hydroelectric power plant of China, because the Tibetan people they might go against it or in favor. So it is a very important position for for Chinese for China government. Now, India also is also looking for not to build any hydroelectric power plant or dam in Brahmaputra. So, do you think that issue is also connected to choose who is going to be next Dalai Lama, whether it's the Indian from Indian side or the Chinese side? What do you think? Uh,
Sir, let me tell you one thing. The issue of Dalai Lama is completely a conflicting issue between Dalai Lama and China. My question is that why India is interfering this? It is my question. And Arnab Goswami, a so-called journalist who is the owner of Republic TV, is giving long narrative in favor of Dalai Lama against China. When Arnab has taken the issue, I am convinced that this issue is not confined to the spiritual issue. It has been exactly the issue of the political matters between the two countries, China and India.
That's what I'm trying to say, Farad bhai, that Brahmaputra River, China is trying to build a biggest
Yes, yes,
dam.
yes,
So that
yes.
issue is also is going to come in forward, right?
Yes, Brahmaputra Dam is a serious, apprehension for India. And you know that 35 freshwater or the sweet water is coming from Brahmaputra.
Mhm.
And not only that, 40% hydraulic power confined in Brahmaputra, which India is enjoying. When the dam is also almost completed, and China will face an acute problem, particularly in the field of hydraulic power and having fresh water or the sweet water. This is a
Okay.
problem, and now
India.
India is taking a India is taking a step exactly to face it in Siang River in Arunachal. India is building up a dam in order to face the problem of Brahmaputra. But how far it would be possible on the part of India, I am not sure. Another thing is that in Aksai Chin, there is a river that is Karakas River. China is building up a dam there, and the occupied Kashmir by India will suffer water if the Karakas Dam will be built up by China. Other thing is that India is building up a dam on the riverside, which is flowing to Pakistan from Kashmir. You know, and
Sin, right?
Pakistan has been facing. Pakistan can anticipate a kind of problem in the impending days. Now, Pakistan for external affairs disclosed this matter. If it is so, then Pakistan will go to the International Court of Justice to settle down this matter. And you know that an Indus dam, which has been exactly built up by the sponsor of the United Nations organization and the direct help of World Bank during the time signed by General Ayub and Jawaharlal Nehru. It was a very friendly gesture of signing the very important dam because the five rivers of Punjab, are connected with this dam, and the water supply. India is giving trade very frequently to Pakistan that they will exactly lock the gate so that the promised supply of water cannot exactly pass to the land of India. I think that that will be acute. India is weaponizing water in a very alarming way. So I
Mhm.
think that China, Pakistan, and even Bangladesh, we are not in a position to share the water according to the Ganges Treaty, and we are not sharing the water of Tista and Feni rivers. So the three countries of South Asia, China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, should go to the International Court of Justice, when the three major countries of South Asia will go to the International Court of Justice against India. I think that that will be a great defamation, and that will create a particular image crisis, particularly for India. And you
Mhm.
know that one day India might be treated like Israel for its negative rule, particularly to the neighboring countries. It is very much interesting and surprising that India is not in a position by their present foreign policy to maintain friendly gestures and friendly relations and to address bilateral issues with the neighboring countries. It is really unfortunate. It is
Okay.
really unfortunate. India's categorical and deliberate obstinate policy will exactly create a certain kind of problem in South Asian geopolitics, which will be an alarming one. And not only that, India's ties with Israel is very much dangerous and alarming, particularly for South Asian countries. Thank you.
I'll come back to you again. Mr. Aftapar Ahmed, now, what do you think about is this a religious position of Dalai Lama or a political? What do you think
It's
from your
completely
position?
it's completely political, brother. Absolutely political. Nothing to do with religion at all. Now, I was saying to you that what is Buddhism?
All right.
The basic concept of Buddhism is actually there is no, they don't basic, going back to blast from the past. Isn't that the word? Okay.
Mhm.
So in early 80s, we used to watch a drama series, famous, named Dallas. Can you recall? Dallas.
Mm, mhm.
J.R. Ewing, Bobby
Yeah.
Ewing, two brothers. Okay.
Right,
Right now, when Dalai Lama was sitting and giving this speech that China has nothing to do with this thing, that Jim Portgard Trust Board will take decision. Behind him, there was a tall American Caucasian fellow. He looked very familiar. Actually, he is none other than the actor who acted as in the part of the series Dallas as the younger brother, Bobby Ewing. He is none other than Patrick Duffy. Patrick Duffy, to be precise. Patrick Duffy's wife, long time ago in early 80s, adopted Buddhism, and Patrick Duffy also adopted Buddhism. So they are converted to Buddhism. So Patrick Duffy went there to meet Dalai Lama recently. The picture came. So basically, Buddhism don't have the concept of real true God. They don't consider Buddha is an, even in Bangladesh we say uh, Bhagavan Buddha
Mhm.
said this, right
All right.
or not? So what Bhagavan means God, according to Sanskrit literature, and actually Buddhism sculpture is written in a Pali language. It's an ancient
Mhm.
language called Pali. And Buddhist Gautam Buddha actually was born neither not in India. He was basically born in India Nepal border. It's a place called
Kapilavastu.
Lumpini. It's a
Kapilavastu.
place. Yeah,
Lumbini,
Kapila.
Lumbini
Lumpini.
is his
Yes, yes.
birthplace, and
That
he was
place.
grown up in Kapilabos. His father
Exactly.
was Siddhadan.
Exactly.
Siddhadan.
Exactly.
Buddha was the crown prince. His actual name
Exactly.
is Siddharth.
Yeah.
Siddhartha.
Siddharth Gautama Buddha, to be precise. So Siddharth Gautama Buddha, after he passed away about 400 BC, Buddhism split into two wings. One is called Mahayana, another is called Hinayana. So
Mhm.
Mahayana, their belief is that they believe that okay, Gautam Buddha is not God, but he is controlled by some sort of energy force who will take. There is no concept of heaven and hell also in Buddhism. Whether
Uh,
you know it or not, I do not know.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
What
they
about
believe they with self-esteem and
God?
meditation, a person has to reach his limit to the spiritual world. It's called enlightenment. Enlightenment means, in their word, nirvana. So
Mhm.
when he reaches nirvana, he has went to the optimum level. So in this region, to be precise, from Afghanistan, actually Taliban broke the biggest Buddhist statue over there in
Mhm.
Bamiyan province, as you are aware of that, long time back. So there was the biggest Buddhist statue. And from Afghanistan to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and also you will find this Sri Lanka, yeah, these places, and also Myanmar. You will find, and Thailand as well, not to forget. Thailand, you will find all the statues. So Mahayana sector, they basically um, promotes idolatry, like Buddhist statue they keep. You will find it out.
Mhm.
Another
But my
wing is
point,
called
my question is how this Dalai Lama now is it a religious or a political position now?
100% religious. No, not at all. Because I was about to come to that. The other sector, that Hinayana, which Arnab was screaming in the media about, he doesn't know that it is not Han or something like that. No, actually Han, the Chinese use the word Han for the Muslims, not for Buddhists.
Mm.
Arnab is not aware of that either.
Uh,
The language. Okay. So Hinayana things, actually they don't even worship anything. They do not keep any idol, even in Tibet, Buddhist idol. If you go to Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, have you ever seen Buddhist statues in a
no.
humongous way? No. I asked a Singaporean driver, "You are Buddhist?" "Yes, sir." "So you don't have any statue?" "No, no, we don't have that." They only have it in their car, the sticker of Buddhist teachers, like Confucius.
Mhm.
Confucius himself was not Buddhist. He was a great thinker. Farad Bhai knows it better than me. So these three people, Buddhist, for example, Laughing Buddha. Have you seen Laughing Buddha? These are just like icon. They don't go for the statue thing. But this right now, India took this chance. They know the Dalai Lama can pass away anytime.
Mhm.
So they want to politicize it. A war between skirmish, I should rather say, between China and
China
India.
and India. Okay, now
India.
I'm going to ask you another question now. the next question is what we have seen the last war between Iran and Israel. Uh,
Mhm.
know that there are some shipment came from China to Iran, and also the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, he was in Washington D.C. about 2 days ago, and he had met with President Donald Trump,
Mhm.
and Trump said, "This is not my war; this is your war." So, what do you think that the shift is moving toward the Middle East, and Middle Eastern country is going to conflict with Iran? Do you see that kind of pictures?
Day before yesterday, I was watching a news. It was showing in YouTube that Houthi rebels fired missiles in repercussion of Israel's attack in Yemen. But there is no proof
No, my
of that.
point is, my question is, do you think that
The missiles, what is the
Israel,
shipment?
no. Israel is not going to war with Iran now. Middle Eastern country, one of the Middle Eastern countries is going to fight against Iran.
I agree with you 100%. Israel has done their job. Now it's time for them to divide and rule. I'm in our previous show. As I said to you many times, that Iran won the war for only one reason: Persian Empire, one language, one nation, one religion, one mythology,
Thank you.
one.
I
So
will.
Arab is another.
Yes, I'll ask the same question. Do you see Mr. Farad is saying that that because Israel is not about uh, now? I'm sorry. Do you see some of one of the Middle Eastern country it might start war with Iran? Do you see that picture?
Again,
And
I cannot understand the question, please.
my question is, Israel is not going to war with Iran anymore because President Donald Trump said, "This is not my war. This is your war." But without support, America, Israel is not going to go against Iran. So one of the Middle Eastern country might start a war with Iran. Do you see that picture? Whether it's Saudi or some other. Do you see
No,
that picture?
very interesting matter. America is playing the game. It is a new strategy. But one thing that is very important uh, in our thorough study about Donald Trump, I cannot exactly believe in his statement. He is a man switching very frequently from one decision to another. This is a problem. Yes, Israel has got a particular lesson, no doubt about it. And Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the United States of America, expressed his support of the United States of America to Israel. It is a very, very, I think, the traditional sentiment of the United States of America towards Israel. But the thing is that, reality is that Israel has got a very strong lesson. And if America wants to use any Arab country against Iran, I think that any Arab country is not in a position to fight Iran. Iran is a separate nation having separate identity. As Mitubai told it very clearly, they are one nation, one language, having the tradition of 5,000 years. You know, Iran should be treated exactly with a particular status. If any Arab country exactly does like a like a fool, then that will be catastrophic. Another thing is that the report is coming every day.
What do you
The
think?
nuclear status, Iranian
What do you think?
foreign minister,
Oh, no, another thing. What do you think if America support that country?
America support Israel.
No,
Yes, America,
any Arab country.
America,
No,
America support.
any Arab country. If America support any Arab country to fight against Iran.
No, that will not be happen. No, America has got a particular lesson. Iran will exactly use extreme power, absolute power to destroy all wild tankers and everything.
N-
And
No, no,
that
no,
all
no,
military establishments
no,
in Middle East.
for another thing. Now the game is changing. I'm telling you, the game is changing now.
Game is
And,
changing. Yes, we have to
mm,
wait to see the changing game. Let me tell you one thing. Another game is going on. That is, China is supplying the war weapons to Iran like a flood,
mm,
and North Korea is supplying. You know, if it is so, the scheme you are another the game you are telling about. If it is so happen, I think that the whole world will see another world war. That will be a catastrophic one to destroy all civilizations
mm,
and mankind. So I think that diplomacy is still going on, and Iran is getting power. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi clearly mentioned it, that Iranian nuclear facilities are still existed without any sort of harm, without any sort of damage in a little
now,
portion. So
now
I
I
would like to finish it saying that
mhm.
if any game being played against Iran, that will create a colossal catastrophe, not only for a particular country, for but for whole world.
Okay. Now my last question is: what do you think about Manipur?
What?
What do you think about Manipur? What's the unrest is going right now? The peace deal is about on a table on the both party, the Kuki, Methi, and the Indian government. They are trying to make a peace
Oh
deal.
yes, Manipur. Manipur
Mm,
is a serious problem. I think that curfew has been imposed on 5 districts. An absolute curfew has been imposed on Bishnupur district.
right.
And not only that, absolute shutdown has been imposed on the two parts of Imphal, the western Imphal and the eastern Imphal. You know, 5 districts,
Hmm.
5 districts have been under the strict shutdown, disconnecting internet. It is a serious problem, and not only that, demonstrations on everywhere. Even the Gordons are being attacked and affected by the serious demonstration. Burning and looting is going on. Union force even is not in a position to control the situation. And the tribal leaders are committed right now that they could feel it very clearly that the Union government will not exactly satisfy their demand to mitigate the clash between among the ethnic groups living in Manipur. I think that if China can take the initiative to exactly to install their forces near Chicken Neck, that will be a horrible condition India will face. That will cut up, the Seven Sisters and
That's
our
another. That's another.
caretaker government, our interim government head, Professor Dr. Yunus, once again uttered that the Seven Sisters' heart is Chittagong port. It
This
is
another,
another
that's another issue
alarming.
that that's another issue we'll talk later on. Do you think, Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed, the one 1 minute, Farhad Bhai, your last statement, 1 minute, would you please finish it? Farhad, would you
My
please, yeah, about Manipur? What do you think about the future, the peace treaty
the
between?
future is very clear. By this time, you know that there is a government, exile government formed in London. You
Uh,
know, and right now, I think that more than 80% people are demanding absolute independence, complete independence,
Thank you, thank you.
and
Now,
it is a serious and this demand is a serious threat to the Union territory of India. Thank you
mm,
very much.
you are. Now, if
Pathan Bhai, I can continue for
I,
you
I,
for 10 more minutes regarding the Manipur, if you permit me.
yes, yes,
I have
that's what
all the
I'm asking the
information.
question.
Farhad Bhai, I think he's another show. He can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
No, no,
let me. Would you please
Yes,
yes,
I will
yes,
just
give
cover.
me
yes,
the permission to quit?
yes, yes.
Yes.
You can,
Okay, thank you. Ji,
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.
uh, uh, Iftikhar, Mr. Iftikhar,
Yes, sir.
now my question is, Manipur, they're about in Impal, the
Mhm.
communication shut off, and food supply and the health care, all these issues arise, and the Manipur people, they are trying to make a peace deal with Indian government, with the central government. What do you think, that will go through, or is going to fail?
Well, I have the full picture over here. If you permit me, I wrote it down
Yeah,
myself.
you
So
got
I
two
will just
minutes. Yeah, you got
yeah, okay. Okay. Cookies and Metis approach central government to bring peace in the region. Okay. So biggest question is Metis who were displaced from Chura Chandpur and cookies from Imphal, can they return safely to their home?
no.
No clarification from central government given on this crucial concern. If this is so, then all the meetings will be useless. This is the result. Another thing, um, in recent new governor, in recent time, new governor Ajay Kumar Valla assured that all the relief camps will be shut down by December 2025. This year, there is
No,
no sign of that.
right now, though, in Manipur, there's a presidential
Yes,
government is
this
going.
is okay. We were talking about Manipur, and presidential rule is still in Manipur.
Right,
And
right.
another thing, if I can
But
go,
it's failed, though.
yeah, 57,000 peoples are displaced from their post,
Hmm.
getting restless to return to their original home.
Hmm.
It's very alarming situation over there. It just came yesterday's newspaper,
Right.
and you will be surprised to know there is a red alert going on over there as well. And most interesting thing, former U.S. President Barack Obama
Hmm.
in the year 2020, sorry, excuse me, in the year 2015, standing next to Modi in a speech mentioned, I think it was in Washington D.C.
Hmm.
India will remain united, quote unquote. India will remain united as long as the ruling party plays their religious card.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
That's
this was 2015. So that time, audience took this comment as a diplomatic goodwill gesture, or
mm,
maybe a joke.
mm,
But when Prime Minister Modi visited USA in the year 2023, in a CNN interview by our most favorite anchor host, Christiana Amanpour, took this interview. President Barack Obama, without any hesitation, predicted if India does not recognize the right of its minority people, regardless of the religion, then soon united India will be shredded into different countries. I repeat, shredded.
mm.
Invariably, President Obama pointed this towards tyrannical rule of Narendra Modi and his extremist views of Hindutva or united India, as the Hindu saw it. Only Hindu India. This is not the India.
And that's
So this is the source in the Northeast
from your
Live
statement,
event.
we can see that religion cannot, you cannot impose that religion in a politics, and a different ethnicity and different point of views. So it is very important for India to take a
Mhm.
step, and to make a peace deal with Manipur, and try to develop that area. So thank you very much, Mr.
Most
Iftikhar,
welcome.
and also
Most welcome.
Hussein, for our share today. And very soon we'll come back for another topics. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Most welcome, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.